Hello everyone, this is Clue here with Retro Age Gaming, and welcome back to... welcome back. This is our first segment, what am I talking about? Welcome to our playthrough of the Ocarina of Time SpaceWorld 97 experience. So, quick note, this recreation is fan-made and thus is not fully accurate, nor is it intended to be. For more information, read the included README. If you paid for this mod, you could have downloaded it for free. Reproductions of this mod are not sold or approved by the developers in any capacity. So, getting that out of the way. Yeah, so this is a fan-made recreation and is not fully accurate, nor is it intended to be fully accurate. However, it is the most accurate experience of SpaceWorld 97 that there is, because they did use a lot of official assets and magazine scans and footage and everything else, interviews, to figure out how it was going to be. But there were some areas, from what I heard, that it was kind of unknown what was supposed to be there, and so the best you can do in that moment is guess. So yeah, it's not intended to be fully accurate. Alright, so we have a few options here. We have Hyrule Tour, Dungeon Tour, Battle Tour, and Extras. Now, Extras is going to be a map select, and we have the credits here. So the main programming was done by Zell. Okay, it's going to automatically scroll through. Alright, so there are our credits there. Those are the ones behind this project, this reconstruction of the SpaceWorld 97 demo. Now, what brought about this recreation was they found it was a development cartridge of F-Zero, and there was an overdump, which essentially is F-Zero got flashed to a cart that already had a game on it, but F-Zero was smaller in size than the game that was already flashed on it. So then the remaining data from the old game was still on that cart, and that old game happened to be an early development cart of Ocarina of Time. And it was speculated a lot of the maps that were found were used specifically for the SpaceWorld 97 event. Now, whether or not that was the exact cartridge they used or not, I mean, who knows? We are going to do Hyrule Tour because we can access the dungeons and a lot of the battles from, quite a few of the battles. We can access them through Hyrule. There are 2 dungeons that we can play, but there's 4 areas that we can explore. So we are going to start with Link's house. And you can see right off the bat the A and B button is reversed. We attack with the A button. Our bed is missing, although the collision is still there. So let's speak with Saria here. Right, another thing is there is manual jumping in the game. We cannot roll in the game, I don't believe, but there is manual jumping. So we can jump forward. We cannot roll. It stays on check the entire time. Hi, Gaming Stream Video Games. How's it going? What is really neat is not only do we have a recreation of the SpaceWorld demo, but in the extras and the map selection, we also have a bunch of areas from the 1996 build of the game as well. Glad to hear it. Yeah, doing alright. Just enrolling in school recently and making some progress on that, and not the best well off financially, but making progress on everything. It's promising. This is PC. It kind of looks like someone punched him in the face and his jaw just kind of got stuck there. Oh, here's a unused sign. Berry Tree, and that's it. Head right. And this is really neat to finally see something like this put together, because I had been following along with beta restoration projects ever since the original conception of Team Beta Triforce, and I was actually a part of one of the last iterations of Team Beta Triforce before it completely disbanded for, I believe it was a third time by that point. Let's go in the house. She obviously did not clean her house. She does not want us to go in. Oh, I was right. It's a mess right now. Try the house next door. Sure. Why not? Oh, what are you doing? Some karate chop action, eh? Too late. Now, this is neat right here. I remember one of the only things I was working on when I was to be helping out with Team Beta Triforce. I was supposed to be turning the Shadow Temple into Turtle Rock for the beta restoration, and yeah, that didn't go over very well. I don't have to buy it using rupees. What can I buy it with then? this early shop layout here. I don't think we can actually buy anything. I think they said something about, I think there's actually a poll the developers took, if I'm not mistaken, of whether or not they wanted a cheat for like the items to make like an easier experience, and so they had like an infinite number of items or something and made it where you can't buy the items, just so the experience went a little more smoothly and it was a little more enjoyable. I'd been following this project for a long time before it finally came out, so. To the fairy tree, yes, that is right. It's too bad we can't roll. And the Deku tree is already dead from the looks of it. Alright, let's check this out. I like how we can swipe at our sword while we're running. And this is the early Deku tree layout. And while it did say it was not entirely faithful to the SpaceWorld experience, I can vouch that all of the maps that you see are 100% accurate, because I saw what was dumped from that overdump on the development cartridge, and they had pretty much all of the maps, which is what I believe inspired them to do this in the first place. Now, actor placement, that's kind of up in the air. There was a lot of actors that it was hard to tell what was supposed to go where. There we go. Yes, this is the SpaceWorld 97 experience. So this would have been what was shown off at the SpaceWorld event in 1997. I don't like how the camera moved all by itself. It made me miss my jump. Thankfully there's a ladder right here. yeah, so there's where the medallions would go. And here is the old equipment screen. It's pretty neat. I don't think I can do anything here, so. How far does this go? There is a switch right there. Hang on, let me go back to this door that I passed. Oh yeah, those are usually in Jabu Jabu, but believe it or not, I think there actually is some kind of screenshots or footage from the SpaceWorld event that showed they were in this dungeon. Yes, and actually you will find that a lot of the design aspects of Twilight Princess reused a bunch of ideas that were scrapped for Ocarina of Time, pretty much. Right, so this goes over here to... Wait, is that where... That is the eye that I saw just earlier. I'm pretty sure. Yes, there was a scrapped temple in the sky from Ocarina of Time. There was supposed to be a wind temple. In fact, I believe there is some markings, I think it's on the forest medallion, that would more closely symbolize wind. That kind of backs up the claim there's supposed to be a sky temple in Ocarina of Time. A lot of stuff got cut. You were supposed to be able to use like the medallions for special powers and everything. In fact, in the retail release, you can actually still see where there's an imprint before the Shadow Temple of the Fire Medallion, showing that you're supposed to use the Fire Medallion to get N, but the Fire Medallion was replaced with Den's Fire right before the game released. But they did not replace that texture. They did replace it in Ocarina of Time 3D, though. This is that room I was in. But also, like, you had a reed whistle for calling Epona that was used in Twilight Princess. Also in the beta of Ocarina of Time, you're supposed to have a fishing rod that you could take with you everywhere, which you also have in Twilight Princess. There was supposed to be like a more elaborate ice dungeon, which there was in Twilight Princess. There was supposed to be a Temple of Light in the early Ocarina of Time, which the Temple of Time level kind of is that in Twilight Princess. Also, there were some scrapped ideas that were very akin to A Link to the Past that was going to be used for Ocarina of Time, which also, again, was reused in Twilight Princess. Just about everything that got scrapped from Ocarina of Time found its way in Twilight Princess. So, it also was supposed to have larger maps back when it was being developed for the 64DD, which they say would be comparable to the scale of the maps in Twilight Princess. So, we actually have access to the early Hyrule field in the map select, and yeah, it is much larger than the final. I like those chest icons. Those are pretty neat. Not been there yet. Oh, there, I could go either way. What's up here? I kind of want to go this way first. No, just kind of see what's up. There's a piece of heart. Yeah, we've been there already. Been there, done that. That stupid camera almost fell off. It stopped moving. There we go. And looks like the piece of heart is back. this door over here. Alright, let's get up there. Okay, now I'm supposed to go down there. Oh. Now I know. Yeah, there's not anywhere else to go, so why not? Huh, that door didn't open. Excuse me. Alright, let's see. What's in here? That room I was in earlier. Oh shoot. No, don't. Oh my god. No, don't knock me off. Get up there. Get up there. Oh my goodness. That was close. Okay, there's got to be... I feel maybe that right there. But no, even that's attached to something, and I had been in there already, have I not? No, that has to be it. Oh, it's right there, actually. Doy. Only messed that up. It's gonna be behind the chest. Okay, I know I saw what I saw. I saw what I saw. The heck? Oh, psh, it's right behind the platform. Right here. that room again. Hey, there's a piece of cart. Looks like that would have been a room I was already in anyway. Alright, so that dropped down to the first floor. There it is over there. Psh, I missed. Funny thing is, I don't think that bridge is actually over this. Yeah, you can see the bridge where it fell from over there. Oh, close enough. Alright, this is the room that leads to Goma. Got these doors straight out of Mario 64 from the looks of it. Exactly. And that whole issue of getting all the way back down to the bottom, resolving it by like just having you jump on the spider web is like that was the best thing for it. The second dungeon that we can do, well actually I think there's like 3 dungeons we can do. But the second dungeon isn't as different, but it's still pretty cool to see. No heart container. Sad face. Alright, let's take a tour of Hyrule Castle. Alright, so this is the early Hyrule Castle. It's a demo. It's a SpaceWorld demo. I'm sure you did. What? No. That's a golden snitch. It's not a fairy. Makes sense to me. Hi JC, how's it going? The Shadow Folk. Shadows of Highlands. Wait, is that Sephiroth? That's what they say. I talked to him already, right? Son, I think I just found Link's mom. She was in the SpaceWorld demo before she died. Can't go that way. Dang it, everything's blocked off. What's over here? Hey, we can go this way. Look at that. But we can't leave. Dang it. Okay, well, let's just go back this way. Can I go in here? There's like no door on it, so no, we can't. Well, that is a shame. That is a shame. We can go over here, though. Yeah, I did notice it looked like there's quite a few streetlights. Oh, look, it's a Temple of Time. That is interesting. I did read about how the Triforce symbol was originally upside down. I like the door. It's pretty cool. It does feel a bit generic, though. Let's go check out the castle. For sure. Well, there's no tree over here, there's no owl, so I am fine with that. We can just walk right up. In some cases, I was having issues with the camera angles in the Deku Tree. I don't have any of my items. see on up here. Oh, they're not even gonna try to stop me. Maybe Sunday. Maybe Sunday. There's no crates, no nothing. I don't think we can get in there. Oh. Yeah, we can't get in there. So that is... Oh wait. Let me look at the map. That is pretty neat. Let's explore Hyrule Field. Oh, we can take out our sword. We can't do anything with it though. I think this is just for testing out the course mechanics. We cannot jump that fence. Well, that's great. I hear what sounds like other horses. Yeah. That's all barred off over there. There's no entrance to there. We got this cool looking bush over here. All of these gates lined up. Oh, there's Ganondorf's horse. So we can essentially race Ganondorf's horse around the map if we wanted to. I think Zelda's horse is around here somewhere too. I can find it. It's got to cross paths with Ganondorf's horse at some point, I would think. His horse is going that way. The other horse should be going the opposite direction, I would assume. I am not seeing it. There's the regular horse. Let me try cutting around here. Zelda's horse has to be around here somewhere. it. That would explain some of the beta images of the woods. Yeah, I am back at Ganondorf's horse and I do not see Zelda's anywhere. Is it back here? I found it. There's Zelda's horse. Very neat. Death Mountain. Okay, there's nothing over there. You can see the dungeon right there. You don't say. Well, how am I supposed to blow that up? Also, do I not have the Hylian shield? I guess not. Oh, you can see the old village down there. With the cookie cutter houses. Eep, 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 eep. Looks like we can't climb that, so let me go back down. Yeah, we can't climb that either. Well, that's great. What does the sign say? Oh, well, maybe I should have read that first. I see. Let's check out the village. And it does look like there is a gate right here. Yeah. Okay. Let's go check out the cavern. Okay, yeah, that is a lot different. That would be kind of cool. Oh, it's a piece of heart. That would be cool. Nothing. Well, that's great. Might have been something in there, though. I can see a floor switch up there. Could have just grabbed that bomb right there. Let's see. Got it. Something is falling right there. Oh, it's this room. Can they not get me? going? Okay. He's just jumping back and forth. Oh my goodness. Having fun over there? Oh yes, I have seen that. Yeah, I didn't really like that one. I don't know, some people like what they want. I heard a lot of good things about the Project Reality that I streamed earlier today, and I think I might have actually streamed a little last night too, and so that's why I decided to stream it, but honestly it was kind of bad. It did have some interesting landscape, but it was mostly just like the dungeons were almost exactly the same, but like it was like a Master Quest, like a different version of Master Quest. Except the overworld had some new maps, and all of the dungeons pretty much were old maps. With a few new mini dungeons sprinkled in there. It was alright. Now this looks pretty cool. Nice little hallway we got going here. Got him. Alright, let's go check that out. See what we got going. I don't see That does a trick. Okay, let's go. No, 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 no! I didn't mean to do that! No! The camera kept swaying back and forth. Dang it. Let's go back up there. I don't have bombs yet. Alright, take me up. Mind if I do? Got a bunch of flamingos in here. That's new. Dang it. Wait, where am I supposed to go? I'm not supposed to go over it. There! Darn it. Oh, okay, maybe I am. Dang it. The heck? Gotta go all the way back up. Again. Too bad there's not a shortcut to get back up there. I'm gonna take this again. Might as well while it's right there. we go. Made it. This bag to store bombs. This bag to store bombs. Okay. Oh, this bag to store bombs is made from a Dongo stomach. Oh, okay. That makes sense now. I was like, what? So we can get that. Alright, there's a block sitting on top of here. What is that weird diamond thing on the bomb? Well, the Dongo just blew it up, so... Oh, this is neat. Where am I going? Okay, okay. This must be the roly-poly-oly room. Got another heart container, but it didn't fill up our life at all. Alright, let's go in the boss room. See what we got going. Okay, how are we doing this? Oh, I missed. Oh, okay. That works. Got a small door back here. And it appears to be a single room. What does the sign say? It's a secret to everybody. I gotcha. cart container. Let's go ahead and step into the portal. I think that was the last of the Hyrule tour. We'll have to explore the other tours. Yeah, that was the last of that. So, I'm actually going to take a quick bathroom break. I'm going to let the credits play. Y'all can chat amongst yourselves. You can see who all is responsible for the project. And I will be right back into them. Ooh. Great googly moogly, I am back. Alright, so now that we're done with the Hyrule tour, we're going to do Dungeon Tour, which, as you can see, it mainly consists of the dungeons that we already did. However, there is this special course, and it is in fact a special course. This is a dungeon that was created specifically for SpaceWorld, though you might recognize it. It is the training grounds. This was originally used to show off different mechanics that the game was going to use, and they just pretty much reused the map for the training grounds. Learned where the boss is. Where's the boss? There's a boss? Lies, I don't see anything. Alright, what's over here? Archery course. Shoot the monument with your bow and arrows. Hit all targets to clear the course. Alright, sounds simple enough. Although, didn't they say there's going to be a blue warp at the end? Yeah, it's going to be over here. Although I don't get why I couldn't just walk back through the door. It's like literally right there. Alright, what is this one? Tag course. Chase after the fleeing ghost called Poe. Defeat it to clear the course. Oh, okay. Assuming the map is the same. Yeah, it looks like it connects up here. Alright, now I'm Fight. Maze battle course. 4 ghosts called Pose are hiding in the maze. Destroy them to clear the course. Alright, that was all of the challenges and the special course, so we are going to move on from here. Well, actually, let's take a look at the map just to show. Yep, that was all there was. Alright, so we did all the dungeons, we did all the Hyrule tour. Let's do the battle tour, which again, it's mostly going to be everything we did in the Hyrule tour, except for the Stalfos. Alright, and then we have extras, and of course extras wouldn't be anything that has anything to do with the SpaceWorld demo. This is all going to be extra data that was from the overdump of the F-Zero development cart, which has a lot of old maps from the 1996 build of the game, and it had like different enemies and other information in there. So this here is pretty cool. We are going to, we already looked at Hyrule Field. Let's go to Kakariko Village. Okay, so this is that old village that we were looking at. And also you can see we have the Ocarina of Time, and you can see the spiritual stones are actually placed in the ocarina. That was the original intent, was that the stones would go in your ocarina. We have a landmine, which looks like a Koopa shell, a blue one from Mario Kart. Of course, they opted for a different cameo. They used a Pikachu cameo with the bomb shoes instead of landmines. These are you just set them there and wait for an enemy to walk over it, and it blows up. And of course we have all of our medallions here, and we have the horse grass whistle that calls Epona. Doesn't seem to do anything here though. We have all of our equipment here. We have all of the medallions. So we have the Triforce as well. Here is the original look of the spiritual stones, and we know for a fact they look this way because this was what they looked like on the overdump. So we can pull out all of the medallions here. We have the fire medallion. Does what you would expect. Ice metal. We have the wind metal. It's going to be like Baror's wind, I believe. We have the spirit metal. And that just lets you control Navi. We cannot talk to the NPCs, unfortunately. We have the light metal. Somehow that hurt the chicken way over there. I am not sure how that happened. Oh my goodness. Well, this is where this will come in handy. The shadow medallion. Although we can't really see where we're going. Another cool thing about the medallions, though, is that originally you could equip any of the medallions with your bow. So you have your fire, ice, and light arrows, but then you also have wind arrows. Oh, that was actually a spirit arrow, I guess. Light arrows. And you could use shadow arrows. Get away from these chickens. I see a guy standing there. I do not know where I'm going. I cannot see anything. I have no idea where I'm going. I cannot see a darn thing. There's a wall here. walk along it until I find something. I can kind of see again. I see something up there. Alright, we're in the graveyard. This is that same graveyard from some of the early footage of the game. You would see a Poe up in here. So I don't know why there's spiders in here right now, but we are here during the day. It's pretty much just a cookie cutter graveyard. It's like a placeholder. Alright. We cannot go in any of the houses. We can't talk to any of the NPCs. The NPCs should be the same as the ones that were in the Hyrule Castle Town. We can go in here. This is a path leading to Death Mountain right here. Yeah. The Lost Woods. Alright, yeah, this is the early Lost Woods right here. That we would see in some of the screenshots. You would have these big old trees, you would see Link with his bow, and we got the gels. Oh, and there's the old Stalfos enemy. Right there. We can, I believe we can actually call Epona in this map. Yes, you could actually ride your horse in the Lost Woods. Originally. It's kind of lagging from all the enemies on the screen. I think it's just putting me back in the same spot. Got a weird rock right there. So the Lost Woods was definitely a bit more complex. Here's actually Yep. Hello. Why is there 2 horses here? What is going on? Yeah, we are gonna want to actually get up here. Oh yeah, that was Master of Time. Let's get up in here. Okay, maybe that wasn't the best idea. Yeah, you're not wrong. That's funny. Alright, we found the path in the Lost Woods. That was a bit complicated. This is the Sacred Forest Meadow, I believe. You know, I'm still waiting for someone to take all these maps and, like, really connect them all together. It is nice that, we have it at least partially done here. Oh, and here is the Old Forest Temple. It's just a placeholder. It doesn't have an entrance. You just walk in. And yeah, the entrance to the Forest Temple wasn't as elaborate as it was in the final game. It was just that itty bitty area in front of the door. That was the entrance right there. Let me get me some wind arrows. See what we can do. I don't know that that's doing anything. It does not die in one hit anymore. That is unfortunate. Okay, so we have our flames in here. This is a lot different. believe a lot of these doors don't actually have anything behind it. And what just happened? Okay, we are back in reality. Let's go check out this door over here. This leads to the outside. The outside is here, but a lot of the doors you just fall into darkness. Let's check this out. Right? Well, that is kind of steep. What would have been in there? Let me just come out here. Right? Exactly. Now, I think the original idea was, the little crawl spaces. I don't think they decided Link was going to be able to crawl through those. And the idea was the crawl spaces, you would use the fairy spell to send Navi through the crawl spaces, and you would activate a switch, and then you would come back out. Or, like, after activating the switch, then, like, control goes back to Link. So, the use of it wasn't to travel like it is here. It was to activate switches. Oh, I know, that would have been so cool. Alright, so we explored the outside. I'm pretty sure if we go through here, that's where we fall to our death, unfortunately. And actually, no, we do not. But we might as well explore the boss room. Oh, we're right there. We have access to it. Going in. Exactly. Oh, I love that staircase. I'm gonna guess the one you can see behind is where the boss is. No. Oh, you can see behind all of them. Well, that's useful. My guess is they would have originally had double doors like what you had in the Deku Tree. This one has to have the boss behind it. Oh, yep. It kind of makes sense. You don't want your third-party developers to make better games than you on your own hardware, do you? That would be embarrassing. So this is what this room originally looked like. And I imagine even before this, it might have been a little more closed in, like you could actually access those paintings, because the idea was that you would jump into the paintings and they would take you to different parts of Hyrule, very similar to Mario 64. And so this is closer to the original iteration of that. And of course they expanded upon the room to turn it into a boss arena when the idea got scrapped, ultimately. But yeah, the Forest Temple actually started as the inside of Hyrule Castle. It does need more tennis. The painting jumping console. You're not wrong. Yeah, I would have loved if in Kirby you flew through different paintings. That would have been nice. Instead, you had things flying out of paintings and you had to fight them. Zelda tennis. They've been experimenting with Zelda tennis all this time. They're just too afraid to do it outside of the Ganon boss fights. Interesting. Well, okay. Right? Now, how am I supposed to get through that door? There's a giant keyhole. I found the keyhole to this world. It's right here. All the Heartless be pouring through. Psh! I almost got it. Hang on. Okay, so we're not going to be able to go through that door, unfortunately. Let's go up here. Where does this take me? That is a very low ceiling. That's giving me claustrophobia right there. These columns are pretty nice. There's another keyhole. I have a feeling this is going to go into nothingness. Lo and behold, it's the endless pit, the bottomless pit. And we're just going to keep going and going and going. Can I at least pause the game? That's not nice. You gotta let me pause the game. There we go. There we go. Go back to the map, select Kokiri Village. We have not been there yet. Oh wait, we have. We have. That was in the SpaceWorld demo. My bad. The Forest Meadow, we have been there. Lake Hylia. Right? That would have been the thing to do. Oh, we got signposts from Mario 64. The Kokiri Forest. Yes. Exactly. Now, I believe, yep, there she is. Y'all might recognize her from my playthrough of Ocarina of Time. We included her, although I believe she was more animated. No, she actually does have some kind of animation. We could actually talk to her, though, in the playthrough we did of Ocarina of Time. And yeah, here she is. This is her house in Lake Hylia in the early parts of the game. And there is Lord Jabu Jabu. He was originally in Lake Hylia. Woman trademark, yes. We have this nice little path over here. yeah, this was originally where you would enter Lord Jabu Jabu. And there is Zora's River going along there. The maps were quite huge originally. It takes forever to walk along here. I think I'm going to use a ferry to go back. It's just so long. Well, when you're the only one living out there. Yeah, it was kind of all over the place. I don't think this goes anywhere. It does not. But that is freaking huge. So we're gonna just zoomies across the lake. And we died, we got eaten, so we're back here. Let's see, Zora's River. And we got the little early Octoroks. I have not actually played Resident Evil 2. I think I've only played some of Resident Evil 0, and that's it. I haven't even beaten it, it's really hard. You know, if I get enough subscribers, I might eventually do a Resident Evil stream. I will definitely need people to help me out because I had no idea what I was doing. Alright, yep, this is the river here. And it should lead right up into Zora's Fountain. That's a cute little Octorok. I want a plushie of it. I want a plush Octorok on my bed. It is very interesting. I had been obsessed with that since, like, the age of 12. This is, originally Zora's Fountain right here. I imagine you probably would, like, talk to King Zora or something here, like you would in, like, A Link to the Past. You'll need to tune into my streams when I start streaming it. But yeah, because I had always been obsessed with that, that's why a lot of my streams I tend to, whenever possible, I restore, like, either cut beta content or I play some kind of expanded version of the game. Always fascinated me. Oh, let's see. Gerudo Valley. There's some interesting changes here. Yes, the fishing place wasn't originally a fishing place. It was Zora's Fountain. I imagine that's where King Zora would have been. Because, I don't know, the appearance is very similar to, like, the little outcropping where you would talk to King Zora in A Link to the Past, so... Well, maybe I need to play some more fan-made games. As long as they're better than that Luigi's Mansion one that I was playing earlier. It's like, oh my god, that one was so bad. I kind of want the horse. I do have the grass whistle if I need it. Yeah, we got all these tents here. It's looking very different. I actually have the E3 demo of Majora's Mask. I don't have the SpaceWorld demo, but I have the E3 demo. Hyrule Castle. We've been there already. Death Mountain Trail. Were we there? Yeah. Yeah, we were there already. Death Mountain Crater. Here we go. This is interesting right here. I don't know that I'm going to stream it though. There's not really a lot of differences in the E3 version of Majora's Mask. It's just like, it's essentially just a map select of like, everything looks fairly much retail, but E3 is an American event, so that would explain why, because it was developed in Japan. So now if we found the SpaceWorld demo, that would probably have some differences. Okay, so that wasn't a 3D Young Link. That was simply a 3D version of Link from Zelda 2. Originally it was going to be a remake of Zelda 2. But this is interesting. I like these stairs going down into what I imagine is the Fire Temple, but I cannot see anything down here. But yeah, Ocarina of Time started as a 3D remake of Zelda 2, which began development on the Super Nintendo with the effects chip, and ended up moving to the Nintendo 64, which is why that original tech demo, it looked more like that Link, because the game just straight up was going to be a remake of Zelda 2. Yeah, it doesn't look like we can actually go into the temple. Let's get our little fairy butt out of here. Let's see. Yep, that's what it was. Oh, we also can get across this bridge. Can we climb that, though? No, so let's, And that's also why he was fighting Dark Link. But we could have had a 3D remake of Zelda 2 for the Nintendo 64. But then again, we wouldn't have had Ocarina of Time, and that would have been a shame, so... They did end up naming a lot of the sages in Ocarina of Time after the towns from Zelda 2, though, so... What is in here? Nothing. Of course it's nothing. Alright, let's, try another map. It's interesting, some of these maps connect to other maps, but some don't. The Death Mountain entrance. Ah yes, so this is a cave that you're supposed to access from Kakariko Village that goes up to Death Mountain. Oh, there's a chest over here. This is a trick one. It's a trick one. Yep. Although, interestingly enough, Mido is a name of one of the towns. And so it's speculated Mido was originally supposed to be SH. I think it would have been instead of Impa. I don't think there's a town named Impa. A Link to the Past does. That's why, like, every other Zelda game since then has reused the music from it. Well, new iterations of it. The Death Mountain Caverns. Now this is an interesting map. I can't really tell what they had going on here. They was on something when they made this one. This one is just a tangled mess. Oh my god. Yes, yes it is. It was Raru, Darunia, Saria, Mido, Ruto, Nabaru. Yeah, so Impa was the one that did not originally have a town. Or, not originally, it just does not have a town. So that means the sage of the Shadow Temple should have been Mido. Yeah, so he has a friend named Bug. He is Error and his other friend is Bug. They're like a pair, Error and Bug. Now you think in the original translation though, the joke was it went over their head and they named him like something other than Bug. It was like, was it Bagheera or something, or Boogaroo, or I don't know. I think we found the exit. Oh, and that just leads to the cavern. Yes, but Impa was not a town. Impa was a person. All the other sages were not people in Zelda 2. They were towns. They were names of towns. Market entrance. Market day and market night. We were there during the day. Let's look at the night. It's exactly the same, except now there's this guard standing here. Well, ain't that something? Unfortunately, I don't think my parents ever kept the booklets. There was a destroyed town. It was New Kasuto. There was Kasuto and New Kasuto. I'm actually at that part of the game of Zelda 2 right now. I was playing it on my NES. The market item shop. We did not get to see that. So this is what the item shop in the market would look like. Oh, he looks angry. Why is he so angry? Oh, it's an adult shop. Come back when you're older. Then I'll play with you. Then he'll what? It is an adult shop. Okay. Yeah, let's get out of here. He's kind of creeping me out. Oh no, he locked me in. Aw, that's a shame. Outside the Temple of Time, we saw the outside, we saw the inside. Chamber of Sages. Alright, so this is Chamber of Sages. Here we have Zelda. We can't talk to her. We can't talk to them. It's a secret to everybody. Oh, okay. Here is Impa's old design. There's nobody for water. Is she supposed to be Raru? her. I can't talk to the Goron. I love Zelda 2. Alright, yep, that is all we can do here. Or is it? Once we hit that 1,000 subscribers, I'll have to show everyone how to get the Triforce out of the chamber or whatever. Let's see. Hyrule Castle Garden. We have not been in there. And yeah, this is pretty neat. Right here you can see the drawbridge right there. And there's that. Where is, can we actually see? Yeah, there is the crawl space right there. You know, somebody needs to put this all together into a playable experience. Like, I totally would stream that. I mean, it technically isn't a playable experience, but you know what I mean. The older maps, the 1996. The fairy fountain. If this looks the same as... Oh my god. This is freaking beautiful. It actually has a fountain. That's because, it was supposed to be a dungeon. Not the chamber itself, but, like, there's supposed to be a Temple of Light. That idea got scrapped and it got, moved to, they reused the idea in Twilight Princess. Target range. Oh, this is a test map right here. There were images circulating online of this test map, and people always wondered where it existed, because when the debug ROM released, this test map was nowhere to be found, even though there was a bunch of other test maps in there. So it was kind of a mystery where this map originated from. And of course we finally found it on the F-Zero development cartridge overdump, so it is here. We finally have it. We can shoot targets out here. It does absolutely nothing. We come back over here. I don't think we can talk to that guy. He was going on about his beard in the castle town. Link's house, we've been there. Kokiri shop, we've been there. We've been in the Kokiri house. Grotto, we have not been in a grotto, I don't think. Oh, there is a treasure right there. Of course. I was somewhat expecting that. Well, that's interesting. Yes, the Temple of Time. All of the stuff that got scraped because they couldn't finish developing Ocarina of Time for the disk drive, it all ended up being implemented in Majora's Mask. I think some of it in Wind Waker, a lot of it in Twilight Princess, and then even a little bit of it didn't find its way in another Zelda game until Breath of the Wild. I think specifically the DLC for Breath of the Wild, so... Water cave. Well, it does not look like I can go that way. I'm not seeing any water in this cave. For a water cave, it's kind of, dry, I'm just saying. What, am I supposed to go down here? Oh, okay. I see. I see. And yeah, we fall to our death. Old Hyrule Field. Here we go. This is the one that's like just ginormous. This was the original Hyrule Field, bound in the Overdome. Like, this is actually what the field was. Like, this is not a fan-made map here. This was made by Nintendo. I am going to use the Spirit Medallion because this place is just so huge. I can zoom out and like you can just kind of see like just how large it is. You can kind of see they have like the castle back here. I want to get a closer look at that. In all the videos I've seen, I've not seen anyone get close to this castle back here, so. It almost looks like the exact same castle from Super Smash Brothers. But yeah, we got this big, huge doorway here. I did not mean to do that. I was trying to change the camera. Yeah. Let's go explore around a little bit. So like back here, I believe there is a door. It looks like a crypt right there. And somebody died. You can go through the sewer, which actually it actually lines up with some of you know, being a part of Team Beta Triforce, like before it disbanded for the 3rd time. Oh, this is cool. I did not notice this before. You know, I did get briefings on like some of the information that they had, as little as it was. And apparently in the early development of Ocarina of Time, you were supposed to go through the sewers like you did in A Link to the Past, so it makes sense seeing that door over there by the sewer. Of course, that was also something that was scrapped and ended up in Twilight Princess. This area here is just huge. Oh my goodness. So I think this might have been like a test to see just how large they could make the field. Although I did hear they wanted the field originally to be much larger, but someone on the team had an issue with it being that large, and it makes sense. Like, I would have had issues with it being this large. Also, when they had to move it from the disk drive, of course, they couldn't necessarily have it as big as they wanted. But the scale of the connecting fields was supposed to be originally roughly about the same scale as the fields in Twilight Princess. So I think I've pretty much explored everything. There's this nice little bridge over here. It's a little wooden one. It goes over the river. And yeah, I believe the village would have been over here. And instead of a ranch, you saw there was just that little house sitting up there. Yeah, there's not really anything here. But I did also hear Shigeru Miyamoto was looking at, like, I think they were making, like, an example of the field. And when they saw the scale of it, realized the Nintendo 64 was actually a lot more powerful than they initially thought it was. So that might have been the field they were looking at. I don't know. The Deku Tree Dungeon, we did that. There are even earlier versions of the Deku Tree that were discovered. This is the Deku Tree test map. So this is an even earlier version of the Deku Tree. One of the very first versions of the map. And you would essentially just run up this giant spiral to the top and have a couple rooms, like so. So very similar to what we went through in the SpaceWorld demo. Here's another room here. And another room here on top. And it kind of just ends there, and there's no entrance or exit. I'm not sure if there's anything on top. So that is the top of it right there. And it's this big hollowed out area. I'm gonna keep going up. Okay. And the ceiling's pretty high above that. That is it right there. That is the earliest iteration of the Deku Tree. And there's a Goma boss test room. And Goma is actually in here. Okay, it looks like there's a bombable wall over there. I'm not sure exactly what I'm looking at, because I came in through here. Okay. Is that a bombable wall? It looks like... Come on. Do that again. Okay, we are, yeah, let's try this. I don't know that the nuts actually work at this point in development. I think you need to use a slingshot. And in the final, you could use the Deku nuts, but it wouldn't stun her for as long as the slingshot would. Oh, let's see. Also, I did not wait until the eye was red, so let me see. Yeah, that is not working. The room is almost the same. I notice it doesn't have the fog. The textures are a bit different, and the door is a bit different. That's all I'm really noticing. Go Cavern Dungeon. Here's a Jabu Jabu test. So, yeah, this is like, you know, a material test for the inside of Jabu Jabu. They have like the moving floors and everything. Special course, we did that. We were in the Forest Temple, although we did fall through a floor somewhere, and I did kind of want to check and see something, if we could get further than where we were. Okay, out of my way. So I was kind of thinking, there's usually like a balcony overlooking. Right, so we could find the overlooking balcony to here, right, I think I found it. That is actually really interesting. And then we can like go in reverse. It's just a little room up here. What would have been in here? This definitely would have been one of those areas where you would have to use the fairy spell to get up here, because like how else would you get in here? There's no other way to get in here. What would have been in here? That is interesting. That is so bizarre. Yeah, I think that was pretty much all that I did not check here. We will definitely fall through the floor, huh? Or not. Hang on. Is there actually a map back here? There's something over here, it's just not loading the textures. What is in here? That's not gonna light it up, is it? I really want to know what is in here. But yeah, that's unfortunately all we can do here. Here's the Forest Temple test room. And this looks a lot like one of the rooms from the final, which I could not access from the main map that we were just in. Let me Okay, so it is fairly much the same. Just, yeah, we fall into nothingness. The Fire Temple. Okay, okay. What does that do? I think we need to put bombs there. Wait, I wasn't wanting to put that on the arrows. I was wanting to... There we go. Maybe the hammer. The hammer. The hammer. Okay, no, it would have been a chest there or something. This is really interesting. I see something down there. I want to go through that door. See what's through that door. Let's go through that door. that is... I mean, it's like the sounds you hear in the graveyard. Like the places underground. Okay. So that is actually really interesting. Okay. So that's like a hook-shottable platform. Very similar to like what we hook-shot onto to go in the secret area in the final. That's interesting. This is really different. Like, really different. Okay, I do see a lot of hook-shottable stuff over here. Now, whether or not they're actually hook-shottable, I just can tell that they're supposed to be. Oh, yeah, they are hook-shottable. I'm not sure what I'm looking at right now. Okay. Got this long hallway. There's a huge wall of fire. Is that like some kind of bridge up there? We see a switch over there. And then we got a few of these actually. Oh yeah, I think it was originally 2 pillars in the ceiling instead of 1. See where this takes me. So it's just a regular plain old door on either side. This looks like the side Darunia would be on though, which tells me that would be the main entrance over here. Are we... This is the main entrance. It's a bit smaller. There's a big stone slab up there. Got the columns. It is fairly much the same though. Okay, so this is the beginning of the dungeon. So then, how would I go about going all the way up to where I just was, if I can do that? That's a very good question. Yeah, because it does not look like I actually can. Hang on. Hang on. This has me a little bit stumped. Okay, so it looks like we would come over here. And I'm not sure what's up with this, because it's obviously... Oh, we can actually walk on the floor. I meant to land on that. I wanted to see if it would spring up if I stood on it. No. Okay, so we, have to, like, just fly up here. Somehow we would get to right there. And then We would need to push this. Okay, this is the room where there would be that cage, but there isn't one. And we would like climb up. Oh, okay, okay. I'll see what's going on here. Alright, then it takes us back to this maze, as I kind of expected it would. Where'd this door go? That's not where we just came through, is it? No, so that takes us here. And we have 3 doors there. I bet you this is above that room we were just in below. And then this obviously takes us back out to another part of the maze. Alright. So that was confusing as heck. Alright, let's see. Then one of these doors would usually lead to a little caged off area with a chest. I think it usually had like a map or something in it. I say originally, I mean like in the final build. It is definitely not this way. This also leads to the maze. I have a feeling all of these lead into the maze. It looks like the maze is bigger than what it was in the final. Possibly. Yeah, all of these doors lead to the maze. So that means we had to find... There was those columns that we could hookshot. That is how we got in here, yes? That is how we got in here. Man, I have not had peanut butter cookies in years, and just randomly, like, I am craving them, like, really bad. Wait a second. That's how we do that. What is this? Oh, that's not a hole. That is not burning for some reason. That is because we would jump up here. And target that. And then target this. And go into the ceiling. And this is where it started, isn't it? the switch, and we would go run and try to get the chest, which there is not one. So that has to be where like the megaton hammer would have been, because it was shortly after leaving here I found those 2 stone pillars, and then probably the boss key would have been further in. That platform would stay up here. Okay. So that's where I climbed up. Could have also hookshot that, and there is a door over there that I can get to. Just gonna go through that door. Nope, that's got that long hallway. Right, that's got us back over here. What is that switch gonna do? I almost fell into that hole. That would have been bad. I'm not wanting to do that. I'm wanting to see, like, if I were to play through this normally, getting hit from every which way. Alright, and the heck? The heck is this? What is that? What am I standing on right now? More of those blocks, surely. That is a big fire gate right there. On either side. Okay, so what? Oh, okay. 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 Then what is up here? Is this getting curiouser and curiouser? We're in the opposite one now. The opposite tower. And it would be another chest. This is probably the one that would have the megaton hammer. Oh, the lighting is awful in here. I can't see a darn thing. Alright, so I assume that's where I would get the megaton hammer, probably. Not the other. The other was probably always intended to be like a secret. Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, that is what it is, a Gerudo. Not just a training ground, but like the Gerudo's fortress. Alright. Well, I thought I wouldn't get hurt if I landed on it. That's kind of how it worked in the final. Okay, then we have to knock just one of these out. We can climb up. If we knocked all of them out of the way, then we couldn't get up here. Okay, then there's a few doors. Which one do I want to go through? Came from the one that was like straight across, so let me go through here. Jeez. Not sure what I'm looking at. Would help if I could roll. There's a hole in the ground right there. I'm back right here. So we want to go out the other way probably. There is a switch right there. Yes, the fire gate is gone. Shoot. Let me get there though. Let me get there. Dang it. Let me try this again. Just kind of loops around in a circle. Oops. Okay, so there is like no door that leads anywhere like in the final. So yeah, we'll just drop down into the hole then and go to the boss chamber if I don't die first. I actually have a potion. I don't know why I'm not drinking it. Dang it. Get in here. Okay, which side would be, that side would be where Darunia would be standing usually. It would go over there and free one of the Gorons. Which, it does not look like there's anything there. But I can't really tell, it's so dark. It's just a regular door. Okay, this is the arena. Fight Volvagia. Interesting. I feel like we thoroughly explored the fire temple. Like, as thorough as you possibly could. Fire temple test. So it's just this room again. Interesting. Water temple. is this? This is like the boss arena, isn't it? How far down does that go? Okay, we can swim in it. How deep is that, though? Oh my god, that is so deep. Well, that's because they are. Like, nobody was supposed to see this, so... That is huge compared to the final arena. Okay, let's go through here. Oh, there's a nice little staircase. They could have kept that. I love that bridge. Having a nice fancy bridge instead of using your hook shot, that would have been cool. But it was also cool using the long shot. That's a nice bridge, though. I'm just gonna say, that's a nice bridge. What is that running along the walls there? Is that like etched on the walls, like where the water levels would be? Those are the water levels right there. That is pretty cool. Now, the water temple originally had 4 floors, I believe, instead of 3. There is like no water out there, so I will just climb down here. There is another mark. It's over here too. It shows you where the water would be for that level. Okay, so we should have just dropped down by 1 floor. And yep, there are the marks again. Kinda wanna know what's over there. Well, I mean, we could fly over there and find out. There's also something over here. Which door should I go in first? The one under the bridge, maybe? I mean, that usually would be, this is the 3rd floor right here, so if we're getting technical here, that should be where the boss is and not up there. So, let's check that out first, see what's there now. Again, where the water level would be. That is so weird. Do I keep going that way, or... Let's do a little side quest. What? What on earth? Yeah, let's go the other way. There's another door down there, so there's gotta be another way through there. Oh my god. looks like a little tile down there that would rise up with the water level. And something else, I don't know what that is down there. I mean, I do have this medallion, so let's go down there and check it out. We'll never know staying up here. Okay, and there's a door there. What is that? Is that like that one room where like there's a room under the floor when the thing like floats up? That is interesting. Also, I noticed there's this door right here. Wait. That's like... I didn't go all the way up, though. Did I? And it looks like exactly the same. Oh, this water temple would have made me lose my mind. There's a door right across the way. Yeah, we are now underneath where we were a moment ago. And you look down, there is, it looks like another tile that rises up with a... Wait, what is... There's a switch right here. Okay, that doesn't do anything. What is down... Oh, there's another door. And another door, and yep, sure enough, there's something down here that rises up with the water level. There's the switch, and then there's that one, that one. Why is there a switch only on that level? What does it even do? Is there something across the way from that door? No, but there is a door right here. Let's go ahead and check and see what's in there. What on earth? God, treasure chest. I have a feeling that's going to be one of those fake ones that crush me. If that's what that is, I am going to be disappointed. Because I made so much progress. That would suck. Let's see. So, this is a very peculiar room. You can push the switch as the fairy. I mean, that just goes to show my theory about activating switches as a fairy. Could very well be true. I imagine you would push that switch, though, and then the treasure would appear right there. And I am not trusting that treasure chest. I already have everything I need. Like, I have all my equipment. You might have gotten the long shot from there or something, and then... I don't know, do something with it right here, I don't know. Let's go back up to where we were. We were right here, right? Or, yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, yeah, it was 3 levels. Yeah, we are up here. Let's go back to that central pillar and climb down a bit more and explore that way. But also, there was another door up here we needed to explore, wasn't there? Because we went under that bridge, yep. And there was another door across the way. We don't want to get too sidetracked or we'll get lost. Let's see. What's over here? Okay, another block that. There's a little trap door. I'm gonna go see what's in it. this is exciting. Let's see. What is in here? Grab the ladder. Go on. He's not grabbing it. Okay, you're forcing my hand in this. Oh, that actually was not so bad. I was thinking it was going to be from higher up. So I'm not exactly sure what this room would be. I'm not sure what a lot of these rooms would be, to be honest. There's a switch over there. I think we just went down a level. We did. There's a switch over there. Let me go back up to where we were. So it looks like we would use that to climb up. And get up over here, maybe. Possibly. Excuse me. Alright, let's climb down in here. Okay. So we went down another level. And what the heck is that? I knew it did. Okay, I missed that. I did not go through there. Oh my goodness. Would those switches raise the water level originally? What the heck is that? We have... There is a ladder going down to this platform over here. Oh, okay, this is... I've got to check that out. What is going on here? Okay, there's a little switch here. It's already pressed, and yeah, I'm not really seeing anything in here. Except for that, I know you could shoot it in Master Quest and do something, but it's not doing anything here. So then, yeah, we would... It looks like we would travel across this and climb up that ladder. And this looks like, because it doesn't make sense that they would have it where you could just barely jump between them. I don't know if jumping between them is what they had in mind. It looks like they were thinking of possibly making this a rail with a single platform that would slide back and forth, is what it looks like to me. What is this? Is that... Okay, I thought that was a guillotine at first. I was like, what the heck? Yeah, let's jump down here. That would be nice if I could actually climb these ladders. This room is all kinds of wild. Oh my goodness. now where are we? We just came through a block. We can push these. We're at the bottom of some room here. This is so bizarre. I don't know what is going on. Okay, this almost feels like it would have been the room where you fight Dark Link. I'm gonna say probably as well, like just the way that door is there. It kind of makes me think of the arch that was in that room that had the illusion. This almost looks like the illusion room. I am so lost. Okay, this is the bottom of one of the rooms I'm sure I've been in before. Let's see what's in here. Pretty sure I've been in this room before too. Oh my god, I am so lost. I am like way in over my head right now. Oh goodness. Yeah, only thing I can think of is like go all the way up to the top again. Because this looks like that one room where like no matter what level, like that hallway always looked just like that. So let's go back up. Yeah, this is definitely that room. Yeah, there's a puzzle switch right there. I remembered seeing it. Let's drop all the way down to the bottom. And see if we can work our way up. That looks like it's supposed to be spikes. But it's a 2D texture instead of like actual like 3D spikes. Kind of similar to, wasn't that like Central Room, like it had spikes in there? But like actual spikes. That's pretty neat. Whatever that is. Let's see. Oh, that is really cool. And I am lost again. Oh, wait. No, I'm not. There's another door. Can't really tell which door it came through, though. Okay, that's a door it came through, definitely. Unless, both of the rooms look like that, then I really have no idea. Oh, I'm back here again. Am I back here again? I am back here again. Oh my goodness. We are back here again. Alright, we'll try again to get to the bottom. This is how I get out. out, I believe. Pretty sure this is how I get up. Alright, we're just gonna go to the central column over there, and we're gonna drop down to the bottom. Enough distractions. It would really help if I had a map. Alright, here we are at the bottom. It almost looks like I had been here before, almost. Definitely looks like I've been here before. We just fall out, and I guess that is the entrance over there. Oh, what? It's a big old wall. Like, we actually cannot get anywhere in the temple without first going through this door. Like, we get into the temple from that central column. That is interesting. And yeah, that is so weird. I love it. I love it. I would love to play that version of the water temple someday. Ganon's Tower. This is the early Ganon's Tower. This was the very first map to be made, I believe. Because there's a little abbreviation for the file name that says, looks like it says First Dan. Possibly for First Dungeon. Which, of course, everyone knows Ganon's Tower is not the first dungeon. But it could be the first dungeon that they made. But following the early concepts of the game and going around a castle, it could have actually originally been the first dungeon. Because the whole game originally was going to take place inside of a building, which assumably would be like a Hyrule Castle that had, of course, become Ganon's Tower, so... Got rid of the golden bodybuilder there. Okay, I believe that ledge loops back around to that door right there. I'll prove it to you. Let's see. Yeah, just loops back around. Go in here. Probably would have warped you somewhere, something. Might have been where you found Princess Zelda and she gave you the light arrows. That would make sense because there's light shining around it. And then you would come up here after saving Zelda and getting your light arrows and fight Ganon right here and then just jump off the ledge. And yeah. Stalfos. Is that? They reused a lot of assets from Mario 64. So this is the same as the Stalfos fight from the Battle Tour. Let's go to test map. What on earth are they doing? Oh, that's that creepy shopkeeper that was hitting on me. I do not like that. What is he doing here? So, originally, wait, Dark Nut. I guess that could have been Dark Knight. I believe it was early Iron Knuckle. You can't catch the Cuckoo, but... Do you understand so far? I have no idea what's going on. So we got a boy group up here. Yes, that's what I was getting at. It would have been Hyrule Castle or Ganon's Tower, depending on where in the story you were. Yes, that is correct. Depth test. Oh, okay, so we're not testing the depth of the story, we're testing the depth of a black void. Alright. Sasaki's test. Okay, this is where you find, yeah. So, you remember reading at the start of the demo, it's not completely accurate. This here says, in the original SpaceWorld 97 demo, many interactable objects found in overworld maps were handled by just one special overworld actor. Each instance of this actor placed in a map had unique settings to tell the actor what model to display and what behavior to have. While many settings have been figured out or guessed at, some are just too difficult to figure out with any amount of certainty. Therefore, blue cubes have been placed in spots where the overworld actor was used, but its settings were unable to be figured out. I just sank. Okay, that was, interesting. Somewhat. Another that just it says test room. A lot of the Twilight Princess stuff was inspired by scrapped Ocarina of Time stuff, so. So, green cubes are where dungeon actors could not be figured out. Alright, cool. idea what that did. Well, guessing the rest of the room has switches in it, I would say those would probably be switches too. Alright, so this is a early map that it kind of looks like what would have been the road to Hyrule Castle, actually. We got some more switches in here. Okay, well that did something. I guess it like... Okay. That is weird. I got those platforms there. What the heck is this? This almost looks like the dungeon from Zelda's birthday mod. I got some frozen switches. So I guess this room was just to test pushing blocks, apparently. It does feel a lot like that one room in the Zelda birthday mod, though, where you had to push all the blocks in that one room. I hated that room. Level of detail test. Okay, so it's a triangle and we get a put. Oh! Okay. Yeah, so that is to test like how far the camera gets from the model before it changes to its low poly version. Interesting. Material test. What the heck is that? What kind of material are we testing? What is... Hello? That is weird. And it looks like it's got a little white spot on it, just like the bombs. Kind of, except it's not diamond shaped. That is interesting. Stalfo's mini boss room. Anyone? So this was found in the files of the debug ROM. This and one other room. These were originally in the debug ROM of Ocarina of Time. It's unknown why. It's a pretty cool looking room though. I kind of wish it was in the game. Could have been like the chapel or something. And this is the other room that was found in the debug ROM. If you've seen the French trailer for Zelda 64 before it got scrapped and turned into Ocarina of Time, you would see a scene where Link was fighting Astolfos in this room. And here it is in the debug ROM. Now my guess is going to be, because the debug ROM I believe is for Master Quest, these maps were probably going to be added at one time to Master Quest. Like those were rooms that were shown off for Zelda 64 before it got scrapped and turned into Ocarina of Time. And I believe part of Zelda 64 becoming Ocarina of Time was due to the failure of the disk drive. So if the disk drive was eventually coming out and they were making Master Quest for the disk drive, it seems to me like they were originally going to put new maps in there. They at least had those two lined up. Let's see. Last one is going to be the old Kokiri village. Now this is huge. Like really huge. Fairy Endowment Day. No idea. Alright, tell me about Fairy Endowment Day. The Fairy Endowment is a ceremony where us Kokiri receive fairies from our guardian deity, the Great Deku Tree. The fairies we get help us out with all sorts of things until we're all grown up. Okay. So like helping you brush your teeth and stuff like that. I see. Your siblings who are born from your guardian deity, the Deku Tree. Well, that's a bit morbid. Okay, is there anyone else out here? No. Yeah, this is the original Kokiri Forest. Why is there a picture of an axe up there? That's interesting. Maybe the lumberjack would have originally been over here, like what there was in A Link to the Past. Original Deku Tree goods. Oh, let me add them. Well, isn't that any shop ever? They just sell repurposed materials that you could have found yourself somewhere. Except the government likes to say they own it all for some reason. Oh, okay. Yeah, you do that. You grow those mushrooms. And I'm just gonna be far away. Far away. And he's over by my house now. Kokiri etiquette. I see, I see. my house. It was okay until you scribbled graffiti in front of my house. What the heck is I even supposed to be? Is that the moon from Majora's Mask or what? Okay. Now what? Well, maybe you should go take another nap on the roof and, roll off again. Just, you know, try it again. I see. Well, that's not too bad. Oh wow, they got little steps. That's cool. A bit annoying to climb up them all though. Also, I don't think the child Link could climb up those. Of course, this map is probably predating Child Link. This is probably... No, I believe in the French trailer of Zelda 64 didn't look like this either, so... What is this? Through this hole. Forest temple. Really? Really? You don't say. So this is a forest temple right there, huh? You sure about that? Where's the exit? Let me like... Oh, this is quite expansive. Return to title. Alright, so we have gone through all of the extra maps. Oh my gosh, we have been streaming for almost 4 hours. There's a lot of ground to cover with that though. Yeah, so this is going to be the end of this segment. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been Clue Floyd with Retro Age Gaming. Stay tuned. next stream we're going to be doing actually is going to be Sonic Adventure 2. So be looking forward to that. Until next time, peace out.